Good morning guys, welcome to Lost Phoenix Gaming. Having a look at the Forzathon challenges for the third week of January. First off, we've got big scores in the valley. Don't slip up. You've got to get a drift score of 20,000 in a single lap at Maple Valley. That's at 40,000 credits. And there's big nights. Complete a race in an Audi manufactured car at night. Then there's win a race at the Sebring International at night. And then you're looking at goofing off. Complete 6 laps at Catalonia in an Ariel manufactured car. Win a race at Dubai City Alternate Circuit and complete a race in a Pennell manufactured car. There's not really a lot I can combine out of these. I mean, looking at it, I can either say do the drift event in a Pennell, or I can run a Pennell at night. Seeing as Pennells are like off-road buggies, I've decided to go for the night race on that one and not the drift race. There's a bit of a quick cut in here. There is a reason for it, and I'll tell you that in a minute. Well, the reason you see this as a sharp cut is because I started this race off and I did one lap and I did it, which wasn't too bad, but I did use a rewind a few times because it was frustrating me a bit, and it was a short track. I didn't have a lot of room to manoeuvre. I'm tired, and an old injury I've got in my left wrist is actually playing up a bit at the moment, so I'm losing feeling in my wrist and stuff like this, and it's locking up. It's slightly hard to play the game, but I was getting a bit annoyed with it, so I was hitting the rewind. But I did ban. I go, you know what? I want to try and do this myself. I want to try and do this without hitting rewind, without messing about. So this is a second lap where I attempt to do it without hitting the rewind button. I attempt to get the 20,000 without messing about, really. So let's have a look at it. Let's see what I can do with it. I've decided to do the drift event in the 2015 Mustang GT. Lovely car, absolutely lovely. Decided on this bit just to reverse it a little bit because I didn't really sort of approach that right. I know I can't go back and reclaim parts of the track, but at least I can build up a bit of speed so I can try and do something for other parts. This is one of those things where this is not an easy track to drift on, mainly because it's not very long, but I'm not doing too bad on it. I'm determined to do this without hitting the rewind. So I mean, the idea is just to try and hit 700, 1,000 with each one. I'm going at 13,000 at the moment. But I've achieved it, so I've got nothing to lose other than the fact is I just want to try and do this for me, really, just to show I can actually do it. Despite how badly I do it, I can still do it, and it's not too bad. The GT is a good car. I was contemplating the Hoonigan for this, but that's way too slidey for this. Way too slidey, goes straight off everywhere. I thought let's try something a little bit more balanced, something a bit more straightforward. So the Mustang GT is always a good go-to car for a bit of drifting, and I'm not actually doing too badly. I'm pushing 18,000 once this completes, 19,000 even, so I'm coming up towards the line. A few small little drifts there over 20,000 mark. Brilliant. Shows I can do it without having to hit rewind, because I was having problems doing it to the track, and also because my wrist was locking up because I've got nerve damage in my left hand from an accident a few years back. It does lock up, it does lose feeling and stuff, so it's not so good for playing games really, but never mind, I've done it. So what I'll do is I'll cut it here and I will move on to the next bit. So that's the end. Very best lap 20,575, which I think is the one you watched. I'll go over into a Forzathon screen and there you go. 45,000 credits. Fantastic. So what have I got next? Race at night in an Audi manufactured car. So I've got the Audi RS3 LMS, which is like the new car of the month for January in Forza 7. Going round a lovely night circuit at Yas Marina. I do like these night circuits out Yas Marina because you get some circuits and it's just too dark. You're driving around, you can't see anything. These are actually quite well lit, and I do like them. Plus, I just love the colours, the blues, reds, the visuals. It's just really nice. But you've got the Audi Sport, so this is the RS3 LMS, which is a really nice car. This has not been modified or messed with. It's only recently been added to my garage as well because it is the January car. And I'm up against someone called Simbassen. Fair enough. Hit the barrier there, that's me trying to show off by doing a little drift round the corner. Failed miserably. But I left it in regardless, so no worries there then. Right, we've got a noise in the background, and if that's my eldest lad, he's just in the kitchen, he's on the tablet, he's watching something or another on YouTube. And yeah, he's been a bit naggy because he wants to go on the Xbox, but his brother's on it at the moment. I said to him, let's do my audio, let's get this out of the way, and he can go on the Xbox. So I've got the pop-ups, I've made progress in big nights. Fantastic. So from here, it's a case of having a look in and seeing what I can do. So what I'll do is have a look on the Forza screen, and the next one on big nights is win a race at Sebring International Raceway at night. But if you remember, I'm going to save that one for a bit later and mix it up with the Penal Manufactured Car Challenge. So I'll give it a skip and jump over to goofing off. Complete 6 laps at Catalonia in an aerial manufactured car. So there you go. I've got an Aerial Atom. It is quite a nice car, but generally it's a trumped up roller skate. And what am I racing against? A McLaren P1 GTR. This is going to be interesting. One of the most demonic cars ever made versus a roller skate. I am struggling on this because this one, despite being quite a nice car, has got a massive problem with understeer. It's just like really hard to steer. And I've had this before, so I know this is not my new Xbox controller being a bit stiff on the sticks. But I managed to get into first place, but it's not the easiest thing going around here. This is actually mad because these cars are just track toys, absolutely crazy. So the handling can be a little bit off, to say the least. So what I'll do is I'll make a quick cut, and you'll see me going over the line after my 6th lap because I'm already on to my 2nd here, and we can move on with the challenges. So coming up to the line, 50 seconds was my fastest lap, which is not bad going. The total time was 5 minutes 9 seconds, and Simbassen in my McLaren came in about 10 seconds behind me for some bizarre reason, but I'm not complaining because I've done the race, I've won it. You can see a few tyres, I smacked them on the way round. So pop-up time, you've made progress in goofing off. Got my drive tire today in my Hoonigan Gymkhana driver gear, mainly because I was going to use was going to use the Hoonigan originally for the drifting, but decided on the Ford instead. Next challenge: win a race at Dubai City Circuit Alternative in an Opel manufactured car. This is for the Holden Sandman panel van. So here we are in the Holden, the GTE, in a nice fetching yellow and white colour scheme. Around Dubai, on the city circuit, on the alternative one, which means it's backwards. This is always an interesting one because of the way it's laid out. It can be a bit deceptive when you go around corners and you can quite easily crash into a barrier, but never mind. So you're going round on here. It's not doing too badly in all fairness. Got Simbassen about 250 feet behind me. Coming up under the bridge. This is only a short circuit, so that's not too bad. It doesn't take too long to go through, especially considering this Opel is not exactly what you call sporty. So you can see the finish line on the mini-map now. A bit of a wobble. Definitely do not want to be going into the pits today. Over the line, 1 minute 37 seconds. Brilliant. I didn't catch what Simbassen was driving, so I'm going to have a look at that on this end screen. I was driving a Corvette 67. I have the Opel Kadett. Why does he spell like cadet? I expect it to be from IKEA. You know, it's like, so you get those storage boxes called cassette and stuff like this. But no, not a bad win. That's that challenge progressed through. So I've got the pop-ups. You've made progress in goofing off. Now we get and now we get to the final part. Complete a race in a Pennell manufactured car and win a race at Sebring Circuit at night. So this is what we'll be doing. That'll get me the Holden Sandman panel van as well as the hip hop driver gear. It's a shame I couldn't really combine more than one challenge this week, but I managed to get these two and bury in and whatnot. But pulling away, you can see I'm racing against one of those new car pass cars, the something Jackson pack, whatever it is. The ones with all these really crazy modified cars, which I haven't had a chance to look at yet. But I'll have to have a look at that in the next few days, see what's in there, because some of them do look a bit crazy. So I'm racing against one of those. These are crazy. This off-road buggy. But saying about the tracks and the lighting at night, this one again isn't too bad. But some tracks are very dark and are very stupid, and you can't really see anything in front of your face. But these aren't too bad. This is more sort of early evening or late evening sort of track, so it's not too bad going. For Pennells, yeah, I didn't fancy doing a drift event in one of these, to be honest with you. It was a bit on the silly side. I think it might be fun actually, but I'm going, considering I've got no room for error on Maple Valley, I thought I'd better try and stick with something that I know and I trust. A little silence, falling asleep while recording this, just drifting off the track onto the grass. It's actually mad. I'm recording this audio on a Saturday afternoon about 1 o'clock, and I was up till about 5 o'clock this morning. actually doing this stuff. So I've not had a huge amount of sleep, and it looks like I was falling asleep doing this. But the finish line's here, 1:57 across the line. Very nice. Let's have a look at this other car. I know it's one of those new packs, a Ford Roadster. It is. I'm definitely have a look at that. It's a weird one. It's got a big bubble on the top. Looks like a damn submarine. But I'll have to go and have a look at that one of the days. So I've got my pop-ups. You've made progress in goofing off. You've completed goofing off. You've made progress in big nights. And you've completed big nights. So that's your two challenges I've managed to combine. Fortunately nothing else this week, but that's just how they sit. Here are my rewards. The 1974 Holden panel van, which I may already own, or do I own it on Horizon? I can't remember now. But either way, that's what you get. And hip hop driver gear. Go back to a time when dancing on cardboard was socially acceptable. So that's those challenges for this week. Have a quick look at next week's. There's an interesting one here. Along the beach, wishing for the sun, and you get the 1988 Chevy Monte Carlo Supersport Forza Edition, right? And someone was asking about this. I'll put a caption up here telling you who asked this comment, because I can't remember offhand. And they asked me about this car, and they said, what's the easiest way of getting it? And I looked it up, and apparently it's only through milestone progressions. I got the non-Forza edition, but looking at this, it looks like do this one challenge next week and you can get it, which is going to be brilliant because apparently it's quite a popular car, even though I've never sort of heard of it. It was drifting in the night for 90,000 credits, then a fine vintage for the cyber driver gear. It's actually 1 step, 2 step, 3 step challenges. I'll certainly look forward next week to having a look at this car, because apparently it is really hard to get a hold of. So that's all for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you found it interesting and informative and funny, whatever you get out of it. And if you like what I'm doing, hit that like button, hit subscribe to keep up to date with what I'm doing. But until next time, guys, thanks for watching, take it easy and happy driving.